This is Alan with the Growing Network. Welcome. Today on tap, a bone-in prime rib of pork with an apple glaze. We're going to be using our Kamado Joe, so let's get cooking. Here we have the star of the show. It's a bone-in prime rib of pork sent to me from SnakeRiverFarms. I love the taste that you get from the Kurabuta 100% Berkshire meats, but we're going to go ahead and take this to another level. We're going to go ahead and brine this beautiful piece of pork. We'll go ahead and get to that next. Now to take our Kurabuta pork to the next level. We're going to be using a brine sent to me from MadHunkyMeats. This is their pork brine. We're going to be using 4 ounces of their brine to 1 quart of cold water. Go ahead and mix this up and let it dissolve. Okay, while that's dissolving, we're going to take a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. We're going to place the pork inside the bag, place the brine inside after that's done, and let it sit in the refrigerator for 4 to 6 hours. We'll go ahead and make sure when we do this that we burp all the air out. You can just do that by pressing all the air, and when we lay this down, it should cover the entire pork. Okay, we are preheating our Kamado Joe to 325 degrees Fahrenheit for today's cook. We're using Royal Oak lump charcoal. I will let my Kamado Joe come up to temperature before adding my wood. For today's cook, we're using apple wood. So let's go ahead and add this. Go ahead and grab our prime rib of pork and let's get cooking. We've removed the prime rib of pork from the brine. I gently rinsed it off, and we're going to go ahead and apply some kosher salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. So there we go. We're going to hit all sides. And then we're going to toss it on the Kamado. As I mentioned earlier, we preheated our Kamado Joe to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. I've placed our prime rib of pork on the cast iron grate. We're going to let this go for roughly 2 hours. We're shooting for an internal temperature of 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where I like it. The USDA had recently lowered the recommended guidelines to 145 degrees Fahrenheit, so we'll check back periodically. Let's go ahead and prepare the glaze. Okay, now for the glaze. It's a pretty simple glaze. We're going to use 1.5 cups of apple juice. We're going to use about 1 cup of apple jam or apple jelly. This is homemade. I'll provide a link below of the recipe. It's my wife's recipe, so it's quite spectacular. All right. We're going to let this warm up and come to a slight boil. And then we're going to apply it to the prime rib of pork. To this, we're going to add 1 stick of, I'm using Vietnamese cinnamon. Okay, we're going to add that to there. Let this go for about 10-15 minutes, and we'll apply this to the pork. Okay, as you can see here, this is starting to look phenomenal. Let's go ahead and apply some glaze. This has a wonderful cinnamon smell. This is going to look spectacular, guys. So we're going to do this for every 20 minutes or so until this bad boy is done. Okay, we've been cooking for about almost 2 hours. Let's go ahead and give this a peek. Look at that. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Let's go ahead and give it a couple of tests. I'm gonna make sure you get towards the middle of the roast. We're hitting 150. We'll go ahead and pull this off, let it rest for a few minutes, and we'll just go ahead and carve into it. Here we have it. It's been resting for about 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and carve into this bad boy. You can see how juicy it is. It's already look at that. Let's go ahead and cut some sample pieces here. You can see how juicy this bad boy is. It's extremely moist. Wow, that is absolutely spectacular. You can taste the juiciness of this, you know, thanks to the brine. The meat itself is, you know, phenomenal by itself, but I went ahead and took it to another level. I want to thank the fine folks at SnakeRiverFarms for sending me this fabulous prime rib of pork. I want to thank MadHunkyMeats for supplying some brine. If you guys like this video, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.